Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome sa Balang Araw podcast. This is Luis Gutierrez. If you're listening to this podcast since episode 1, maraming salamat mas for supporting. And also for those who engaged sa first post ko on the Balang Araw podcast sa Spotify, sa YouTube, on Facebook. Maraming salamat for supporting the podcast. So if you're new here, ako si Luis Gutierrez. This podcast is me recording my journey sa pagiging tatay, sa pagiging asawa. And if you're listening in the Philippines, happy Monday, pare. And if you're in LA, happy weekend. If you're listening to this podcast right now, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for getting into the Balang Araw podcast. So going back to what I talked about in episode 1 regarding the Balang Araw movement and the No Yossi Club. So good news, 30 days ng No Yossi for me. So it's an achievement for anybody who's out there who's trying to quit their bad habits and trying to quit, like for example their smoking habits. Balang araw you can get over it, you can quit that, diba? Hindi man next month, hindi man next week, diba? It can happen someday. So here in episode 2, pare, let me just rewind to where it all started. So for me, let me just share my job experience sa Pilipinas. This was back in 2011, 2012, if I'm not mistaken. So back then, I'm like 18, 19 years old. I was in my like graduating year sa high school. And so I can say na this can go back to my smoking habits, kasi back then I can only ask my mom for just the like tuition fee, diba? And yung allowance ko to get by para makakain and whatnot. Pero since gusto ko magyosi, meron ako mga vices, I tried to look for a job na mapapasok ko. So isang job nga na sinimulan ko is sa pagiging waiter sa isang catering company near our community. So ikaw pare, do you remember your first job na like you had to grind talaga, you know, that you have to like be an adult and find a job? So for me, yun ang first job ko, yung pagiging waiter sa isang catering company. So kung makikita niyo yung mga waiter na nagsuserve sa mga weddings, sa mga big events, like for example sa mga corporate events, so yun yung ginawa ko for some time back when I was 18, 19 years old. That was around 2011. So I'm just speaking on my experience. So baka mayroon na mga ibang changes dun sa company on or how they make it. I don't really know anymore. Pero this is just my experience when I was a waiter there. So I got hired kasi parang medyo Christmas season na at the time. And they were like hiring waiters na mag-serve sa mga events. And during those times, sunod-sunod yung mga company events, weddings. So when I started, you have to get there early, like around 4 a.m., 5 a.m. You have to get up and get there to fall in line para makahanap ka ng schedule. Like, for example, in that day, merong 10 events. The manager or parang yung mag-a-assign ng mga waiter, they will look onto the list para ma-check sino yung waiters available for the day. And they will assign, for example, sa isang event, they have 10 waiters. Eto, I'll pick you, Luis, para dito ka sa event na to. So, I will be assigned there together with other waiters na nakapila din on that day para maghanap ng trabaho. Once you get listed as a waiter sa isang event, may mga section ng warehouse kung saan nakastore yung mga equipment na you will need for the event today. So in this example, for example, a wedding with 100 people ang event na to. So dun sa event na yun, I would give an example na 10 waiters kasama ako dun na magsaserve sa event na yun. So we will start with the equipment: spoons, forks, knives, the glass. So yung glass parang may 4 na klase. Meron yung pang wine, may pang water. Tapos meron, bibilangin mo din yung plates. The cloth, yung mga centerpiece, tables, chairs. So lahat yun, bibilangin namin isa-isa. We'll check na merong available for 100 people dun sa set na yun. We'll also make sure na it's clean. It came from the warehouse, so it was already washed. The spoons were already washed. Tapos kailangan lang namin i-make sure na clean siya pag isasakay. So 100 na spoon, 100 na fork, 100 na knife. Then may mga event na we have to carry, or we have to bring yung mga gold chairs, silver chairs, yung mga bakal. They have trolleys, but pero syempre mabigat pa rin siya. So we have to, like, let's say 100 people, 100 packs, we have to bring 100 chairs na ganun. Then 10 tables. So we have to carry all those sa isang container truck. Then going back, we have to wash it. I mean, we have to make sure na walang dumi. Hindi naman 100% yung mga dishwashing people, diba? So there will be times na kailangan mong punasan, linis, and or replace it with a new one na mas malinis. And you will load everything up sa sa container truck. Then after that, that's around, like, siguro makakapag-finish ka na mag-load ng container truck ng 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning. Tapos, in this event, I would say 2 p.m. magsa-start. So 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, you're already loaded sa pickup, sa truck. Tapos you're gonna go to the venue. That will take like 30 minutes travel time, right? For example. Tapos dito sa travel na to, yung mga waiters, uupo lang sila together with the items inside the pickup truck. Tapos yung mga window, may mga truck na isa lang yung window, may mga truck na dalawa, swerte pag dalawa. Tapos ito yung parang free time mo to eat. So the company will give us food. Kunyari, yung menu for today is tinola. You get the tinola on one plastic. You get rice on another plastic. Yung plastic labo, the one that you will get from the sari-sari store. And you figure it out kung paano mo kakainin. So at the time, you just like open up the plastic, you eat from there. May kutsara tinidor. Pero yung iba nagmamadali na. They just bite on the plastic, eat it from there. It's tinola, so it's easy to like eat it right away. And yeah, that's funny. So going to the event venue. So after you count all the item, after you make sure it's clean, after you load it in the truck, you have to unload it in the venue. Tapos itong mga waiters na to na yung nagsaserve sa inyo sa event, sila din yung nagsaset up nung venue mismo. They put up the tables, they put up the chairs, they put the cloth on the table, they put the cloth on the chair, yung mga foam. on those chairs, sila yung nagkakabit nun. Tapos, merong set of waiters na nag-aayos ng mga centerpiece, ng mga details sa kasal, for example. So, yeah. So, once you set that up, sabihin natin 1 p.m., 2 p.m., syempre after all that effort, diba? Pawis na. Then you have to change. You have to change to be like para neat ka. So, there are times yung venue maganda, may shower area, di mainam. Pero pag wala, you have to find ways to like clean up yourself, be presentable. At the time, I have to have white long sleeves, black tie, leather shoes, diba? Slacks and whatnot. So, once the event started, mag-wait ka doon. Most of the time, nasa bar serving drinks. Making sure that there are enough glass. Parang itong yung mga event na napuntahan ko. Parang ito yung mga first experience ko. So, nangangapa pa rin. Parang nakikisama and you're learning. And it was an experience. While you're there serving drinks, serving food, parang isipin mo, balang araw I will be the one na kinakasal. And eventually when I got married, I made the plan na mabibigyan ko ng tip properly yung mga server nung event na yun, nung wedding ko, kasi I know how it feels, I know how hard it is para gawin yung trabaho na yun. Going back sa party, so yung party would last, let's say the party started 2 p.m. Usually the party would end 11, 12, or late 1 a.m. 2 a.m. And syempre, as waiters, you have to be there all throughout buong party to serve. Tapos after ng party, you have to clean up the event venue. You have to fix the plates, clean up the plates, the spoon, the fork, and you have to count it again before bringing it back to the warehouse. You have to put down the tables, the chairs, balik na naman sa container truck. Tapos make sure na lahat ng equipment ay counted. Then that will be right like around 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Pagbalik mo sa warehouse. Ibang department naman na yung maghuhugas nun, pero yeah. So that's like from 4 a.m. all the way to gabi, to midnight. So kung gusto mo makakuha ng shift for the next day, you won't be able to get some rest. You can rest for a few hours, pero line up ka ulit ng 4 to 5 a.m. 4 to 5 a.m. to make sure you have a spot for the next day. So I tried to do that, and after I did 2 straight days, di na ako nakabalik na after a week. So yeah, that was a fun experience. During those days, sabi ko nga, it's a Christmas season. So Christmas and New Year, I was working my butt off. Nasa call center ako habang nanonood ng fireworks dahil parang may event dun sa call center na yun na from this time to New Year morning, libre yung food, libre yung drinks. So we were there. It was okay. So yeah, yun yung first job ko ever in the Philippines. Sobrang hirap for me at that time kasi unang trabaho ko. And sa build ng katawan ko, hindi naman ako sobrang lakas para makapagbuhat ng madaming chairs na madali lang. Minutes, baka reklamo ko lang to, diba? Pero yun nga. During that time, may mga kasama ako na mga waiter na matagal na doon. na yun na yung ginagawa nila for a living for a very long time, and they're happy doing it. And siguro ako, like pagdating ko doon, parang sabi ko, this is so hard for me. Diba? It's an experience, pero parang sobrang laking saludo sa mga waiter, sa mga nagsuserve ng ganun, sa mga nagtatrabaho sa mga ganong kind of business, at ganun yung tasks nila. Mahirap, pero they find the joy. They find the joy in it. And may mga tao talaga na they're built for that kind of for that line of work. Well, yeah. So that's my first job in the Philippines, and then after that, I was able to get into the call center world after a few years. So ikaw pare, do you remember your first job? Naalala mo ba yung feeling ng unang sahod mo versus sahod mo now? So with my waiter story, ang na-earn ko for a day's job is 350 pesos. Diba, bale, parang you're working 24 hours. 24 hours for 350 pesos. Almost 24 hours for 350 pesos. Kaya sobrang saludo sa lahat ng waiter out there. So, if you remember your first job, and if you're vibing to this episode, comment lang kayo sa Spotify, sa podcast, sa Facebook. And if you're enjoying this podcast, please follow the episode, the Balang Araw podcast. I'm on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram. Yung mga socials. Sobrang inaaral ko pa yung mga technicals ng podcast, and I'm trying to get into the social media. So I'm gonna post it right here or here. I don't know. Lalagay ko na lang din sa description. So, share this episode sa mga tropa niyong hardworking pare. Yung mga laging nagtitiway shift after ng shift nila, or yung mga nagsaserve sa restaurant, sa mga catering. Share nyo to sa kanila pare. And to those people na sumusuporta sa podcast. Maraming salamat. So, naalala ko dati pare, nung waiter pa ako. So, kung may tip yung nagpa-event, yung kinasal or someone, na head ng event, maghahati pa kami sa tip. Like, if there's 10 waiters, hati kami sa tip. Swerte na din kung ibibigay ng head waiter. So, there will be times na meron kaming tip na 10 pesos, 20 pesos. So, it's an experience. It's a memory na I will hold on to. Parang ito yung pinaka-una kong trabaho na like literal na nagtrabaho talaga ako. Hard work. So, if you're listening right now and enjoying this podcast, salamat for tuning in. This is the Balang Araw podcast, and see you next time.